Welcome to the Trig verse. Look, since you've already skipped the tutorial, we're heading straight for the main event. There are exactly 3 main bosses standing between you and a perfect score. And in this explainer, we're going to systematically dismantle every single one of them. No fluff, no filler, let's just get right to it.
You know, the biggest misconception about trigonometry is that it's just this chaotic mess of random equations designed entirely to trick you. It's really not. It's actually a highly predictable, perfectly closed digital fortress. And inside this fortress, there are exactly 3 boss encounters standing in your way: the shapeshifter, the hidden trap, and the real-world titan. If you master these 3 specific archetypes, you literally master the entire run.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Before you even think about kicking down the door to that first chamber, you need your gear. And this specific loadout right here, it's absolutely non-negotiable. We're talking your core identities, your double angle formulas, and your addition formulae. Lock this loadout into your memory right now, because if you walk into the exam hall without these 3 cards in your mental inventory, you're basically walking in unarmed. All right, let's see how this builds our strategy for the very first encounter.
So, boss number 1, the shapeshifter. This is your classic proving identities encounter. I want you to think of this as a very strict matching game. The fundamental objective is pretty straightforward. You just have to prove that the left-hand side perfectly matches the right-hand side. But look closely at the lethal trap waiting for you here. You must never cross the streams. Unlike a normal algebraic equation, you absolutely cannot move terms across that equal sign. They are locked behind a solid wall. You have to mold one side entirely until it becomes the exact reflection of the other.
So how exactly do we execute this takedown? Well, the golden rule is to start with the more complex side and systematically break it down piece by piece. Just watch the execution flow here. Step 1, we initiate the double angle strike, swapping out the complex terms using our inventory. Step 2, we expand and simplify to reveal the core math underneath. Step 3, this is the critical move, factorizing by extracting common factors. And finally, step 4 delivers the final blow, seamlessly canceling out the common bracket. Left-hand side equals right-hand side. Boom, the shapeshifter goes down. Now you might be wondering, how do we know exactly which substitution to use in that very first step? The crucial secret here is keeping one eye on the right-hand side target at all times. That final target entirely dictates your choice of weapon. If you know you're going to need a difference of 2 squares factorization later on, you choose the top path. If your target is purely sine, or say you have a positive 1 that needs eliminating, you take the middle path. The shapeshifter actually telegraphs its moves. You just have to watch what it's trying to become.
Boss 1 defeated. Chamber 2 unlocked. Take a quick mental breath. You've cleared the first major hurdle, so let's keep this momentum rolling.
All right, we're shifting gears now from a rigid matching game to disarming a highly dangerous room. Boss 2 is the hidden trap, otherwise known as solving trigonometric equations. The core objective here is to find all valid angles for theta within a specific given range. But pay close attention because the lethal trap in this room is devastating. The instinct for so many people is to just divide by a trig function to simplify things. Do not do it. If you divide by a trig function, you accidentally delete half of your valid answers from existence. To safely disarm this room, you absolutely must factorize instead. Let's train your eye to actually spot this trap mechanism. If you see mixed trig functions combined with squares, something like tan with sec squared, a hidden quadratic equation is waiting right there to be triggered. So here is your execution protocol. Step 1, the substitution. Use your inventory to replace that sec squared data. Step 2, rearrange the board to reveal that hidden quadratic. Step 3, now we're honestly just playing regular algebra. Let x equal tan theta and run the standard quadratic formula, which unlocks step 4, the twin paths. Now, to safely navigate those twin paths, you need the ultimate diffusal tool, the AST quadrant compass, all, sine, tangent, cosine. From our previous step, we have a positive and a negative tangent path, while the compass tells us exactly which quadrants hold our targets. For the positive path, we sweep the first and third quadrants. For the negative, the second and fourth. By running your basic angle through this compass, you methodically lock down every single valid angle for theta, clearing the room entirely. Trap perfectly disarmed. We secured all 4 angles without triggering a single misstep. The heavy doors are opening, the final boss chamber is unlocked. This is the massive one we've been building towards. Welcome to Boss 3, the real-world titan. These are your heavy R formula word problems. The golden rule in this chamber is simple, but it is incredibly stubborn.
You cannot easily solve for an angle when it's trapped inside both a sine and a cosine simultaneously. The core objective here is sheer force. You must take a messy, layered expression with two completely separate trig functions and compel them to become one single clean wave.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why this math exists in the first place. It's not just abstract numbers on a page. Look at this hiker's path. The physical geometry of this real-world scenario, a path moving up a mountain and then cutting across, literally builds the exact compound equation the R formula is designed to conquer. The total distance from the road is literally a physical combination of a sine component and a cosine component. The geometry creates the problem, and the R formula is your designated weapon to solve it.
So, here are the precise execution steps for taking down the Titan and taming that wave. Step 1. You find R, the overall amplitude, by running the Pythagorean theorem on your coefficients. Step 2. You find alpha, the phase shift, using the inverse tangent of those exact same numbers. And step 3. The payoff. You take that newly unified equation you just constructed and you solve it exactly like we did in the previous room with the hidden trap.
Now, what's genuinely interesting here is visualizing the physical reality of what we just achieved. It's the concept of wave interference. Look closely at those red and blue lines, our messy, separate sine and cosine functions. You can't easily point to where those overlapping, chaotic waves equal to, just by eyeballing it. But when you apply the formula for fusing waves, physically merging them into a single shifted megawave in green, finding exactly where y equals 2 suddenly becomes a totally basic math problem. You literally bring order to the chaos.
Titan felled, initiating extraction. The massive wave is tamed, and the dungeon run is completely clear. It's finally time to collect the ultimate loot drop from today's explainer.
I want you to take a mental snapshot of this final piece of loot, the Trig diagnostic matrix. This connects every single thing we just survived. The shapeshifter is entirely about matching left-hand side to right-hand side using your identities, while completely avoiding the trap of moving terms across the equal sign. The hidden trap? That's about hunting down numerical values for theta using the ASTC compass, dodging the fatal mistake of dividing away your answers. And the Titan is about fusing two separate expressions into a single elegant wave using the R formula. Literally everything you need is right here in this matrix.
Level cleared. I want to remind you of the promise we made at the very start. Trigonometry is not a random mess. It is a closed, logical system with 3 highly predictable encounters. If you equip your inventory properly, if you learn to immediately identify which archetype is standing right in front of you, and if you just trust your structured working, you have absolutely nothing to fear. You are now fully armed and completely ready for the exam.
Because remember, the Trigverse is a closed system, and its bosses only have so many tricks. Now that you've seen the Matrix, now that you know exactly how they move, how they trap you, and how to break them down piece by piece, are you ready to play?